5 pounds of dry seeds, 1 plastic bucket, 0 soil, 0 sunlight. 30 days later, you have harvested over 10 pounds of pure protein. Not protein powder manufactured in a factory, not meat raised on industrial feedlots. Living protein you grew yourself in a dark closet while you slept. The numbers should not be possible. Oregon State University documented it. Seeds placed in water multiply their mass 6-fold in under a week. Soybean sprouts contain more protein per gram than eggs. And here is what no one tells you. They grow faster in complete darkness. The Chinese knew this 5,000 years ago. Their sailors crossed oceans without scurvy, while European crews died by the thousands. The same knowledge that saved ancient fleets now sits forgotten in Western kitchens. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to turn any container into a protein factory that runs on nothing but water and time. The food industry would prefer you never learned this. In 1405, Admiral Zheng He launched the largest fleet the world had ever seen. 62 treasure ships, 28,000 sailors. They crossed from China to Africa and back. Scurvy killed almost no one. A century later, European explorers attempted the same distances. Between 1500 and 1800, an estimated 2 million European sailors died from the disease. Their gums rotted, their teeth fell out, their skin turned black with hemorrhaging. The difference was not genetics, it was not luck, it was a bucket. Zheng He's crews carried porcelain containers filled with water and mung beans. Mid-ocean, with no land in sight, they sprouted fresh vegetables. A study published in Science documented what Chinese sailors understood centuries before Western medicine caught up. Fordham, Wells, and Chen confirmed it in 1975. Soybean sprouts produce 20 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams after 5 days. Dry seeds contain almost none. Captain James Cook adopted the practice in 1772. His voyages recorded near 0 scurvy deaths, while other ships lost half their crews. The International Sprout Growers Association traces this knowledge back 5,000 years to Chinese physicians who prescribed sprouts as medicine. Ancient wisdom, modern proof. The same science that saved fleets now sits forgotten in Western kitchens. Oregon State University published the numbers that should have changed everything. Mung beans increased their mass 6-fold during sprouting. 1 pound of dry seed becomes 6 pounds of food. A 5-gallon bucket holds 5 to 7 pounds of seed. Do the math. 1 container. 1 week. 30 pounds of fresh produce. Hesterman and colleagues measured alfalfa sprouts in 1981. The yield ratio ranged from 6.5 to 13.4 times the original seed weight. Some varieties multiplied their mass more than 13-fold in under a week. No soil required, no fertilizer purchased, no tractor, no acreage, no waiting months for harvest. Now consider protein density. Soybean sprouts contain 13.3% protein by fresh weight, according to USDA nutritional data. Eggs contain roughly the same. Lentil sprouts deliver 7 to 9 grams of protein per 100 grams. Chickpea sprouts hit 9 grams. These are not processed supplements manufactured in factories. This is living food you harvest with your hands. Here is where conventional wisdom falls apart completely. The best sprouts grow in total darkness. A study published in MDPI Antioxidants in 2020 confirmed what commercial producers already knew. Dark treatment prevented the decrease in dry matter. Light triggers photosynthesis, turns the cotyledons green, and reduces the qualities consumers actually want. The journal Plant Breeding and Biotechnology stated it directly in 2016. Performing the complete sprouting process in darkness is crucial for minimizing undesirable sprouts. Your closet is not a limitation. Your closet is a professional growing facility. The vitamin transformation defies what most people believe about nutrition. Dry seeds contain almost 0 vitamin C. P.L. Finney compiled more than 300 scientific studies on germination and nutrient changes. His conclusion was unambiguous. Germinated seeds can have very significant vitamin C content. more than enough to protect against scurvy. A study at the University of Pennsylvania by Dr. Barry Mack reported a general overall average vitamin increase of more than 500% when seeds are sprouted. The International Sprout Growers Association documented even more dramatic numbers. Vitamin A increases 300%. Vitamin C increases 500 to 600%. Plant foods for human nutrition. Published research in 2019 showing mung bean vitamin C increased 78-fold under optimal conditions. But vitamins are only part of the story. Sprouting reduces anti-nutrients that block mineral absorption. Chitra and colleagues found that germination reduces phytic acid by 40 to 60%. The minerals already present in the seed become available to your body. Now the monthly protein calculation. Start conservative. Lentils yield 2 pounds of sprouts for every pound of seed. 5 pounds of seed produces 10 pounds of sprouts per 5-day cycle. 6 cycles per month equals 60 pounds of fresh lentil sprouts. At 9% protein, that equals 5.4 pounds of pure protein. From one bucket. Optimize the system with soybean rotation. Soybeans yield 6-fold multiplication and contain 13.3% protein. Mix lentils, soybeans, and mung beans across staggered containers. The numbers climb past 10 pounds of protein per month. The American Heart Association published their findings in June 2022. Emily Ho from the Linus Pauling Institute at Oregon State University summarized it simply. You can eat 50 cups of broccoli or a single cup of broccoli sprouts for similar nutrition and benefit. 5 to 7-day-old seed sprouts can often offer more nutrition benefits than the mature plants. The data has been available for decades. The studies exist. The research is public. The knowledge that could transform protein independence sits in academic journals, while grocery stores sell you processed alternatives at 10 times the cost. Sprouts cannot be patented in their natural form. That single fact explains almost everything. No seed company profits when you save your own seeds indefinitely. No equipment manufacturer sells specialized sprouting tractors. No processing facility stands between you and your food. No distributor, no retailer, no middleman extracts a margin. One bucket eliminates an entire supply chain. The industrial food system depends on complexity. Long supply chains create opportunities for profit at every step. A plant that grows itself in any container threatens the model completely. Nobody builds a career teaching people to put seeds in water. There are no government subsidies for closet farmers. No agricultural extension office promotes bucket protein. The knowledge exists. It simply generates no revenue for anyone except you. Western agriculture values spectacle. Cornfields photograph well. Wheat waving in golden light sells the American dream. A bucket of wet seeds in a dark closet does not inspire poetry. It does not justify land grants or equipment loans. It looks like nothing. It produces everything. Cultural bias runs deeper than economics. Real farming requires acreage. Real protein comes from animals. Real food demands effort and expense. These assumptions were never questioned because questioning them served no commercial interest. Meanwhile, Asian cuisines preserved the knowledge for millennia. Thai, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and Indian households never stopped sprouting. The practice was so ordinary, it required no advocacy. Grandmothers passed the technique to granddaughters without government programs or nutritional science degrees. The knowledge survived because it worked. The West briefly rediscovered sprouts during the health food movement of the 1960s and 1970s. Then, industrial food marketing buried it again under protein powders, meal replacements, and fortified processed foods. Why grow your own when you can buy a product? Now the rediscovery comes full circle. Emily Ho at the Linus Pauling Institute calls sprouts more nutritionally beneficial than mature plants. Johns Hopkins University found broccoli sprouts contain 50 times the sulforaphane of full-grown broccoli. Venture capital noticed. Parabel USA developed a protein ingredient called lentine. Heinemann in Israel sells wolfia as a premium superfood called mankai. The same knowledge available for free in any kitchen now commands premium prices in health food stores. What grandmothers harvested for generations became a venture capital darling overnight. During World War II, Victory Gardens produced 40% of American vegetables. Citizens grew their own food as an act of patriotism and survival. Preppers and homesteaders now recognize what wartime families understood. True food security requires no permission. It requires only seeds, water, and the knowledge that was always available to anyone willing to look. You need a container that drains. A 5-gallon bucket works perfectly. A plastic storage tote works too. A wide-mouth mason jar handles smaller batches. Oregon State University recommends 2.5 to 5-gallon pails with drainage holes for commercial-scale production. Drill 6 to 8 holes in the bottom using a 1/8-inch bit. The holes must allow complete drainage. Standing water kills sprouts and breeds bacteria. For seed selection, prioritize protein density. Lentils are the easiest starting point. They yield 2 pounds of sprouts per pound of seed, deliver 7 to 9% protein, and finish in 2 to 3 days. Soybeans produce the highest protein at 13.3%, but require 5 to 6 days and more precise temperature control. Mung beans offer the highest yield at 6-fold multiplication, but contain only 3% protein. The optimal strategy rotates all three. Use organic seeds labeled for sprouting. Irradiated seeds will not germinate. Most bulk food stores sell appropriate varieties. 1 pound of seed fills roughly 1 quart of container capacity. Day 0. Measure your seeds. Rinse them to remove dust and debris. Place them in your container and add water at 3 times the volume of the seeds. Let them soak 8 to 12 hours. Overnight works perfectly. Day 1. Drain completely. This step determines success or failure. Tilt the container, shake it. Ensure no water pools at the bottom. Place the container in complete darkness. A closet works, a cabinet works, a cardboard box works. Cover with a towel if necessary. Temperature should remain between 70 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Most homes already fall within this range. Days 1 through 5. Rinse and drain every 8 to 12 hours, twice daily minimum. Flood the container with fresh water, swirl gently, then drain thoroughly. Oregon State University states it directly. Sprouting seed must not be allowed to overheat or stand in water. Anaerobic conditions cause the seed to die or decay and greatly accelerate bacterial spoilage. The darkness matters more than most people realize. Plant breeding and biotechnology confirmed in 2016 that commercial producers keep sprouts in complete darkness throughout the entire process. Light triggers photosynthesis and turns cotyledons green. White hypocotyls and yellow cotyledons indicate premium quality. Your dark closet produces professional-grade results. Harvest when sprouts reach 1/4 to 1/2 inch in length. Lentils finish fastest at 2 to 3 days. Mung beans take 4 to 5 days. Soybeans need 5 to 6. Rinse the finished sprouts thoroughly. Drain and transfer to a breathable container. Refrigerate immediately. Fresh sprouts last 3 to 5 days when stored properly. Start your next batch the moment you harvest. Stagger 3 containers and you harvest fresh protein daily. One critical warning. Warm, moist environments can harbor bacteria, including Salmonella and E. coli. Mitigation requires clean containers, fresh water, and thorough drainage at every rinse. Vulnerable populations, including young children, elderly individuals, and immunocompromised people, may prefer light steaming before consumption. Cooking preserves most nutrients while eliminating risk. Never dump excess sprouts into natural waterways. Some species become invasive. Compost the surplus. Feed it to chickens. Add it to livestock feed. Scale the system by adding containers. 3 buckets rotating continuously produce over 30 pounds of protein monthly. The footprint equals a small nightstand. The cost equals $5 to $15 in seeds. The output equals independence. 5,000 years ago, Chinese physicians understood what Western science finally confirmed. Protein does not require land. It does not require sunlight. It does not require permission from anyone. A handful of seeds and a bucket of water can outproduce an entire industrial supply chain. The Thai grandmother harvesting sprouts from her kitchen. The Ming Dynasty sailor crossing the Pacific. The survivalist preparing for uncertainty. They all discovered the same truth. Food independence is not a fantasy reserved for those with acreage and equipment. It floats in a bucket in your closet, multiplying while you sleep. The knowledge was never truly hidden. It was simply ignored. Now you cannot unsee it. If this changed how you think about food, subscribe. Your protein independence starts with one bucket.